Hello guys, welcome to your fifth tutorial on how to create a website from scratch. And in this tutorial, I'm going to get started by teaching you something called HTML. So HTML basically means hypertext markup language. You don't really need to know what the words technically means, but then what you should understand is that HTML refers to the building blocks of every website. Just like how you are building a house, you need to get the blocks, the ugly, the round, square, rectangle blocks, which are not nice, but then the function of those blocks are to provide the structure of the house. So in the website, what we need is a building block called HTML. Without HTML, we can't have our website. So HTML goes hand in hand with something we call CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. So just like how you have building blocks, you also have paints, you also have plastering, you also have all those kind of furnishing. Those are styles. Those are adding design, adding beauty to the house. And in web design and web development, it's called CSS. It's a language which you type to give the design of the blocks, which is called HTML. So using these two as examples, you should know that whenever you are constructing an actual house, you don't add plastering, you don't add paint as you are building. You don't add paint before you add wires. You don't add paint before you add pipes, electricity, all those kind of things. You get the house structure first, you get the roofing on top, then you start painting. That is how every house is built, and that is how every normal website should be built. This increase speed, and you won't have errors. You can, because after you are done with the website, you can spend all your time designing it. No one really cares because design changes. Google, all those websites, they design always changes. Their design always changes. You never have a perfect design. Okay, so don't spend time thinking about designing the web page that you're going to create. You're going to create it such that it will work. After it works, then we now design it, and we're going to create it in a very short possible time because you move quick. That is the way I'm teaching you. With coding from scratch, it doesn't need to take that long, as long as you have your priorities right and you get straight to starting the job. So in the previous tutorial, I taught you guys how to run the main page, which is the index of the website. So I typed hello world. Now I'm going to teach you HTML. So HTML uses something we call tags. Okay, so tags are the containers which decide what the website should display. Okay, so when building, you need a machine to generate the blocks. There are machines which the constructors use to cut down the blocks, okay, or the masons and all those people. Those machines, imagine it here as tags. So you need the tag, you need the machine to be able to tell the type of block you're producing, the type of code you're writing, what it should display. And HTML uses tags. So how tags are used is that you have a less than and a greater than. Those are the main things of a tag. So the less than opens a tag and the greater than ends a tag. Okay, so in building your first website, you need a foundation, just like how any building needs a digging at the ground and needs some blocks in the ground. That is the foundation. So I'm going to teach you the foundation. I'm going to move super quick because we need a foundation to be able to work with this website. And that is all we need. And just some few things you learn along the way. So the first tag we need is called the doc type. This tag is very special because it's the only tag which starts with an exclamation mark. So this tag is something you should know of it. Doc type. Then you type HTML. So you get this. So this is the first tag of HTML. Doc type HTML. This thing does two things. First, it tells the browser that we are typing an HTML code. So display something for us browser. It tells Chrome, Safari, it tells Edge to display something for us in HTML. And the second thing is it tells the browsers that it's using the latest form of HTML, which is HTML5. Okay, so the next tag you need is called HTML tag. So when you end this tag, watch this. When you end this tag, another tag appears to it. It's right. So you just press enter twice. So, and you place a cursor in both tags. So this teaches us something very special about HTML. This is that there are two types of tags. The first type of tag is called a self-closing tag. That means that it doesn't need another tag to close it. And the second type of tag is called an opening and closing tag because it needs two tags. So the first type just needs one tag and the second type needs two tags. So here are two examples. This HTML and HTML are opening and closing tags. And this is a self-closing tag because you don't need to close it. The reason why we have opening tags is because we write something in it. We write stuff in the tag. That is why we need to open tags. Else HTML would have been a self-closing tag. But then you need to write your code in HTML tag to tell the browser that this is the compiled HTML code from here and it ends here. So it starts from here, starts here and ends here. Good. So you understand the meaning of closing and opening tags. That means that we're going to work with both tags interchangeably as you're going on with HTML, opening and closing tags. Some tags require that you close them because it contains text inside, and some other tags require that you have to it's self-closing, so you don't need to create another type of tag for itself. So the main difference between this one and this one right here is the second tag has a backslash before the beginning of the HTML. It has the backslash. And the first one has no backslash, but then they are the same names. They are the same words. They have the same less than and equals, just that this one has a backslash. So that means that every opening and closing tag has one with a backslash, and that one with a backslash is the closing tag. And one thing is, every opening tag should have a closing tag. So get your closing tag before you start typing. Okay, don't start typing, then later on try to add your closing tag. And one more thing, whenever you declare an opening and closing tag, please press on the tab. Tab works on Mac and Windows, so just press on tab. It will give a spacing from this point to this point, so that whenever you're reading your website, you know that, oh, everything I'm going to write here is inside HTML. Okay, that is the reason why. So whenever you're going to create tags, as you watch, I'll always press tab whenever I create an opening and closing tag. So you need an HTML tag, and inside the HTML tag, you need two important tags. The first one is the head tag. Just as the same way as I treated the HTML, I'm going to create two spaces. And the second one is after the head tag, which is the body tag. So this shows you that the head tag and the body tag are all inside the HTML, but the body tag is not inside the head tag because it starts after the end of the tag. Okay, so the body tag and the head tag are the two essential parts of the website. That is, the body refers to the space between these corners. That means that everything outside of these corners goes inside the head tag, including things that we don't see, which works. For example, if you search a website on the internet, you see the website, you search a website on Google, you see the website pops up and a website has some text. But then when you open the website, you don't see that particular text which popped up inside the web page directly, but then you see it somewhere in the web page. It all works, but then the fact that it doesn't appear on this screen means that it's inside the head tag. But then anything which appears on this screen is inside the body tag. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So if you have a website like this and you have this thing appearing here, this thing appearing here, where do you think it will be? Head or body? The head, because it's not part of the four corners. It's extra here and here. That means that it's inside the head tag. Okay, so we are going to name our main page. So I'm just going to name it main page, and we are going to do it in the head because it's off the four corners. So we're just going to name it the name of our school. So this requires another opening and closing tag called title. Okay, so the title is gonna be, my title is gonna be home. Okay, so that's just what my title is going to be. You can just type enter twice and just type home in it. But then because is only going to contain home. I don't really need to do that. Okay, so home, that is what our title is going to be. Let's save and run our code. Control S or Command S, save. You see the dots leave here. If the dot is still there, you not saved it. Then you come to our browser and refresh it. You see the home is at the top. Very simple. Okay, so I'm not going to teach you everything about HTML. No, I'm going to teach you just the things we need to get our functional website up and running. Okay, so all the tags that I'm going to show you, we're going to use them. So this thing helps us differentiate every page that we're going to create. All the pages that we're going to create. First page, which is also called the index.php, and all the other pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages and more that we're going to create. We're going to use the titles to distinguish between them. So the first page or the home page. So this one is the title that I got here. Okay, so we can also add an icon to this part, but then we don't have an icon now, and it's not really necessary in what we're going to do. If you want to find out, you can just search about it, how to add an icon, but then we are going to move fast. That's why I've dashed the icon. Okay, so inside our body, what our web map said is that in our home, students and teachers should sign in. And if it's a student, it should go to a web page called students. And if it's a teacher, it should go to a web page called teachers. Okay, so for this part of the coding, we're going to get something which will move to students and something else which will move to teachers. Later on, when you are done with getting the functions, then we come back to this page and work on signing in. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it, and we're going to do all that in the next video. So I hope you understood the HTML, and mind you, this spacing with the tab is called indentation. Indenting. If you see a poor website, that means that it has a poor indentation. Make sure that it follows the indentation rules. Everything should be aligned. If it's inside, it should be in. Yeah, if it's outside, it should be on the next line, but on the same line, inside the main tag. Okay, you know what closing and opening and closing tags are. You know what the self-closing tags are. So in the next video, I told you they were going to work with going to the students and the teachers page. You're going to move very fast and finish this thing. So check out for the next video, and please subscribe to this channel so that you miss all the other videos that I'm going to upload. Okay, so I've heard comments that I should speak slowly, but I'll try my best. I hope you understood, and if you didn't, please type a message in the comments and I'll get back to you. Okay.